Disclaimer: this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes. The views expressed are not of the show, the host, or anyone affiliated with the show. Enjoy.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday. You know, some of you guys might have just come from church, but there's no telling when you're actually going to see this. But it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you guys to the very first ever BAC Students Podcast video. You know, might become a podcast, might become a video on YouTube, TikTok. You know, you might just see us all over the place. But I am your host, Pakola Shani. I'm a student right here at BAC. I'm doing business management, year 3, of course. And, you know, it's been a long time coming. My very first guest is one that I'm sure you guys are going to be absolutely excited about. You know, it is our very own leader here at BAC as a team of the SRC, you know, our president, Mr. Theo Monageng. I'd like him to tell us a bit about himself as an introduction.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'd say this is like a dream come true. And you made it. You made that dream.
It was all you, bro.
Become a reality. In the sense that I think about 5 months ago, I spoke about something like this. You know, we should have a BAC podcast. Let it be the students. Our host should be a student. The person running it behind the scenes, let it be a student. Our guests, we get student, and it should be a student-driven initiative. So I'm more than excited and happy to see that God can really make things come true.
Yeah, facts. So what I'd like you to maybe touch on there, just as maybe an icebreaker, Kanyana. I really wonder, because most times we see our leaders like already at an established position, but we never really know who they were before they got to where they are, or even how they got to where they are. So maybe you could start off by telling us a little about that.
About myself, basically, like you did mention, my name is Theo Monageng, and born in Maung, spent my few years just now in Maung, and then later relocated to Francistown. I'm the firstborn in my family, in a family of 5. Yeah, and I've got 3 younger brothers. The one that comes behind me is my sister. And yeah, I've schooled in Francistown, majority of my primary school years at a school called Clifton, and then from there later moved and stayed in Gaborone for a year, then went to South Africa and finished my school there for 4 years at an all-boys school called Queen's College. And that's how you find me here, 2019. I'm back in Botswana, I'm back in Gaborone, and I started working. I got normally, you finish school in December, and then from there you're gonna wait until August for schools to actually open. So that whole entire time I was a laborer at a company called Native Events. So Native Events is the guys that set up events like these VIP setups. So that's basically that's me. And then 2019 first year in BAC, 2020 went into SRC, 2021 SRC. I guess that was COVID. COVID came when 2020. Yeah, just 2020, 2021. And then 2021, I went into SRC 22 and 23. And now I'm doing my final year, left at about 3 months of school, and I'll be done with my degree.
Whoa. Wish that was me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still going to be here for a minute. But anyway, we make the best of it, man. So that was quite an interesting journey to look at, man. What said to you that, you know what, I know I'm on break, but let me not just sit here at home. Let me go out and look for something to do while I wait for school?
Look, I'm a self-motivated individual, and I'm driven. So I don't like depending on people. I don't like depending on anyone but myself to get things done. So I just want to see things get done. If I need to change my life, I know I'm the right person to change my own life. So when I came back, I couldn't just sit and idle. I remember at the point I was trying to get into the event industry. And before I get into anything, I need to learn and know what happens behind the scenes before I get into any playing field. Hence why I went back to native and started my work there to understand the entire event industry, with the hope that one day maybe I might have my own entertainment company like Bolebo Gunguluza.
Speak on it.
Yeah, and Bo Newman, one of the owner of Native Events. So that's how I used to see myself.
That's very, very inspiring, you know, because sometimes I think most of us students, we tend to be too chilled and like tend to blame other people for like being held back, for lack of a better word. But it's very inspiring to see that you took a different route, you know, and I hope the students can learn a bit or two from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the journey, you know. Hopefully one day we'll look back and see how all the hard work can pay off. Because through any journey that you go through, there's one or two things that you learn. The things that I learned at native events, and I have to be the one and clean after that. And you know, once you go further in life and you look back and you say, you know what, I think that stage of my life taught me to be humble. Because had I been at this state, about all the things that I've achieved. So humility is one of the great things that I learned.
Facts. Actually, last week we were at your party RSL name. You guys were hosting a debate, an internal debate for Minister of Finance.
Yes.
So just before you had come in, I was asking the other guys, how did they meet like Theo, like, and what exactly like that connected them to you? And then everybody mentioned how much of a really cool guy you are. So I'm just expressing that because you mentioned about humility, and that's something I want you to know that most students really appreciate about you. You know, I mean, as me as well, like, for as long as like we've ever like spoken, you've always been, you know what I mean, open to any suggestions, any type of conversation, you know what I mean? So I really want to give you your flowers. You know, while you're still alive, my king.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, way to go. So I just want to know now as we get into the gist of the interview, I have a couple questions for you now.
Yeah.
So more especially in line with like, the SRC. So like from what you just said, we could tell you're somebody who's really driven, really passionate about what you do, and you're what I'd say a go-getter. You know what I mean? Something I'm trying to be. You know, so what inspired you to get in the position of the SRC president?
Before I go into like what inspired me, I want to tell you how I like joined the SRC. I think this was back in 2020. Like I'd said, there was a party, a local student party called EFF, economic. What is it? EFF.
Yeah, comes on economic.
No, yeah, it's not a Marionene BAC. So I came into a BAC or one Alabama school. They formed this group. It's like EFF. It's very radical, and you know this whole thing. And I'm a big fan of Julius Malema. So when I saw these guys, I'm like, oh great, I want to join these guys. I want to show them what I have to offer and help the students and so forth. And then right before elections, boom, COVID happened. Elections got cancelled, and then I couldn't have the chance to be part of the SRC. Then elections then came again, 2021. 2021, I ran for vice president.
Oh, yeah.
So when I started that, I was unopposed. So automatically I became the vice president. And then later I was like, you know what? I'm not challenged in this position.
Yeah.
Being vice president is quite a big position, but I need challenge. I need to sit with the students, stick with the students, and understand what are the problems at hand.
Thanks.
So at the time I spoke to my president, I was like, my guy, I understand that I'm a vice president, but I'd like to step down and maybe put me at Minister of Hostel, and then we can see a way in which we can reshuffle the cabinet. So he took my idea serious, and then we did that. I became Minister of Hostel for an entire year, and in the midst of COVID, There was a time when we had an outbreak of COVID within the hostels. No one couldn't go out. No one couldn't come in.
Shucks.
So that's the journey of how I'm now becoming president. So when my term as Minister of Hostel ended, I went in campaign to be president. And again, unopposed. And I won. So that's my history of BAC, SRC politics within the institution. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that I went in, but before going in, I had to go in and learn, understand the problem. After the problem, know how exactly you're gonna get it done, being the solution. So hence why I came to hostel, so that I can stay among the students. And not staying in a faraway place. Just I told bana ba BC ba sokola ka insente sente. I mean, sometimes people look at being an SRC president as like a simple thing. But I always say to people, if I'd give you my shoes to fill and understand what I've been through and decisions that I had to make, maybe if it was someone else, they would have made it differently because maybe they couldn't understand the background. So I knew exactly what I was going up against. I mean, even how Samega football, you have to know your opponent. So hence why I started there. And now we're here.
That's crazy. Hey man, I was something like you unopposed debab.
I think my time being here, I didn't have competition. You understand? Even for my entire year in office, I've been very consistent.
Facts.
That's the first thing, and I've always kept the same attitude. I'm gonna get chica along the way. What the wanna tell like still don't know. Even when everything of mine was fine, make it one hour I had to stand up. And I had to sacrifice quite a lot personally. So it was not an easy journey.
It seems like you've been up to quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you could give us. So yesterday, just for backstory, I actually went through most of your social media, your Facebook in particular. So hey, I posted what. I posted communication at the so I don't know, maybe you could just give us a bit of an insight on the challenges that you've had to face. I learned about the 13 SIP students. There was the ACCA dilemma there. There was the shutdown event as well. So yeah, maybe you can and just tell us a bit about them.
Okay. Hey, so those are like the 3 key problems that I experienced throughout my entire year in the SRC. So the first one, you're near the 13 students, SIPs. So in BAC, like I said, before you go into any battlefield, you need to know like everything about your opponent.
For sure.
My opponent being the goals that I want to achieve. The goals I want to score. I get it.
Interesting.
So that I need to know the student problems and then the governance of the school. So now here these professional courses within BAC. Professional courses we get them from other universities, other countries, and then all we do is just facilitate to ensure they are So SIPS is a course in UK and BAC is just a facilitator. So SIPS yone enter the date, sa gore kwala leng exam, the results and so forth. So with these 13 students, what had happened is that they had failed their first sitting. So I was now failed first sitting under any normal course go na le resit agere kana mo go bitswang supplement. So with the professional course how sapehela mahala, you have to pay. And you're paying close to about 1,000 pula. So a couple of students were told after their first sitting results, it is not within 24 hours, they pay this amount close to 1,000. For the sake, let's just say it's 1,000 pula. Biela 1,000 pula go kgone go duela receipt. House now duela receipt, you are given a date or kwala receipt. These students ba go kwala receipt ba pasa receipt. BAC be etsa di results tsa bana be gata di results and high said results kae go sponsoring. So now when they don't take the results to the sponsor, automatically sponsor sponsoring, you have failed. How you have failed, BAC takes the decision whether they are withdrawing you from the school. You are given local loan and la FD. So these 13 students, but we just passed our receipt. and we are given FT letters. What is going on? So then I go and find out what sente go diragalang. Then BAC tells me, bana ba kodile di exam, but we cannot proceed with them, with registering them ka DTF because na go di results at recently during DTF had already closed in with the dates. I'm like, okay, did you at least speak to DTF about this? And they were like, yeah, we spoke to DTF and DTF hasn't responded. So then I went to DTF to check if there was any communication. Kante, DTF is confused. I come back to the school, okay, because we are the dates in it, give me the dates.
Yeah.
And the officer, you washa kala. Are the dates no copy of email or something letter?
This is DTF gonna BAC.
This is BAC.
Yeah.
DTF is not is not involved here. This is BAC co exams department.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking to a particular lady there. Give me the dates. There's no dates. I'm like, okay, fine. Let me talk to your boss. Maybe your boss will give me the dates. So when I get to the boss, you know what? The person that deals with that is that lady. I didn't meet some officing. The dates. She gets there, I wrote them on a piece of paper, I threw them away, So now here it's missing information.
Yeah.
So without that information, that means that their story checks out and Banabas they're left behind.
How convenient for them. Eh?
Exactly. So now then I knew, you know what, these students would not just be crying, and it's unfair. You understand?
Yeah.
I want to Tanya and be wrote FD or no, I got an FD and it's unfair. So obviously they had a big reason behind that. They were telling the truth, or it was within the time period. So then I sat down and thought to myself, which other school offers this particular professional course? Then I called IDM. IDM, one of the lectures by Farah SIPS. So then I saw one morning, you know what? My first task for today is to get those dates no matter what. Because I get straight to IDM, what are those dates and explain what this is the situation that we're having. I got those dates. And immediately I wrote an email to register the one by exam. One, you lied to me about the dates. You lied to the students. And two, they're very malicious and very evil. I mean, I always give these people an example. Or imagine this was your child.
Yeah, honestly.
How would you feel about that? You understand? Because don't take Wana as just the student number. You see? Just take everyone. If that person was directly related to you, how would you then act in that manner? So after they saw the email, the director, then they made a decision. And then 2 weeks down the line, the students are re-enrolled back into the institution. This is the first time this thing happens. I want to go to FD, then after some time, we'll be set to school. Yeah, because now I'm telling them, look, this is the factual information that I've got. And if you cannot provide any facts, then you are responsible. DTF is not responsible. You pay for these students and then you give them an allowance from my dear school because you guys did the mistake.
Yeah, you went wrong.
Yeah, you went the wrong. So fast forward, they went and then they solved the problem internally. They didn't reply my emails ever since that day. And then after that, they called the students and they and they just speak all evil. And I'm coming at the point I'm walking to school and I meet all these students that I've been representing. Oh, Theo, thank you so much. We managed to be enrolled back into school. They are planning our next 8-year allowance and so forth. So at this point, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that your issue is sorted. There's a meeting about meeting with this other lady. She was speaking ill of you, whatnot. So fast forward, obviously, I had to go and confront the lady. But that's not the point of the issue. The students eventually got re-enrolled into the institution and they're back, and I still see them in campus and they're proceeding with their education. And that's what I love to see, or if you can come in and change someone's life. Because I mean, if everyone is here to get a degree, you want to get an employment, you know the cycle of life. You have a family, and so forth. And that's how every one of these people are here working for us. It's because they went through the process that we went through. Yes, and now because they're in charge of the system. And I think we're sick and tired of that at this point. And I've made it very clear back and forth. We're tired of bad governance.
And it's very unfair, because like you think that these type of people are actually in their positions specifically to be of service and to be of help to the students, and to add value to their organization as well. And like from what I'm getting, like it's like they're purposefully making it impossible for a situation like that to become, but reality.
But the advantage about this now is that we've already been through like one of the 13 students. I think I made it clear also to the management, be like, just do your job. You understand? That's all we're asking. I shouldn't come to your office to tell you how to do your job. You see, I shouldn't come to you to just seek basic services. And that's all we're fighting for. Just do your job. I'll be happy. You are happy. And then we become one big happy family. And that's all I've always been vouching for a happy family between the students, the SRC, and the management.
No, that's facts. Like the ACCA issue, was it the same exact scenario?
The ACCA issue on it was a bit different. It was not as bad as BASIPs because they had not been failed yet. But there was an exam for ACCA, one of the professional office. They were writing exams online again. So the exams were being monitored online. The equipment is not up to standard. The exam so how the exam how the AC, we are not meeting the ACCA standards. It means that us as a service provider being BAC is not meeting the standards. You understand? So if I'm a student, I'm paying BAC. I get BAC pays ACCA. You see? So if how the standards are not met, who's accountable? BAC. And as the student, I'm not accountable. So they had to get a new date that was in life in DTF to ensure that the students rewrite the exam and it's up to standard. But then I'm happy to say that matter was eventually resolved because it didn't need any more, much more publication. Yeah,
so I'm just getting like a sense of like the issues just with the processes, Personally, I'm very like passionate about like tech and like innovation in particular. So I think like if the students also just like you did could help the school, try to always speak out when there's like issues, little issues always become big ones. So if we could just nip them in the bud while they're still young, we could make sure that like situations like that could not happen and the school could like grow as well. It could just become a wholesome place to be in.
But on that tip, I think another thing with us as students is that we don't know our rights. That's the first thing. We don't know the do's and the don'ts. That's the second thing. And we don't know what exactly we're doing in the sense that I'm in BAC, I'm sponsored by the government, but if I'd ask a regular student, how much is the government actually paying for you apart from the allowance that is paying you? How much are they paying for your tuition? You wouldn't know. You understand? But that's 1.9 book allowance. But if I told you that your sponsorship is almost half a million for your entire 4 years of study, you'd be shocked. You understand? So if you know exactly how much you're paying and everything that you're paying for, and actually take that money as you wouldn't be happy or you are paying for something and this thing is actually coming back to me as rubbish. You understand? If every student would have that in their mind, but there is my ID number or claim. So with that being said, that is my money. So let me make sure that I get value for what? For my money. You understand? Hold people accountable. Go in there as a client. You see, you're not just a student, you're also a client to an organization called Botswana Accountancy College. And Botswana, the staff within Botswana Accountancy College are hired to work for who? The customer. So who's the boss at the end of the day? It's you, the student. So students need to stand up and act like a boss, you understand? Get in there and get into that office, and when you look at that person, look at them as your employee. Look, my nigga, you're sitting in that chair to work for me, so do what I ask you to do.
Respectfully, respectfully.
You understand? Obviously, it has to be respectfully, but if you're not going to do your job, then I think now we have to take things to a different measure, because at the end of the day, it's my ID that's paying you. You see? So that's my whole point with that. The students also need to stand up to this.
Anabanela ko dithefo gas go sign a memorandum. Give me my money, you know what I mean?
You see, that's the problem. Or if actually read the contract you signed with TTF, read the code of conduct ya skolo, and then know exactly how do you operate mo skolo. Because now you know the channel. I mean, even with a club like this, it is within your another code of conduct and the vision ya BAC to sponsor such initiatives. So hopefully after they see this, they can go back to the rules that were written to BAC, or how can we support such initiatives. Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. Like I'm sure like we need a lot of introspection as students, you know what I mean, just to make sure we're on the right page. You're aligning with a nice next point that we could speak on, which are the initiatives, you know what I mean, the initiatives within school that I'm sure since COVID, I'm not sure how the school was before COVID, because I just started a BAC during 2020 and there was COVID and you couldn't really do much within the school. Need out and school long, attend, go home. Yeah, no, I'm seeing that's a bit of a thing now. That's all we do as students. We just come to school, attend, and we go. So I know what kind of initiatives and projects have you guys like got to as SRC that has like, you know what I mean, been a benefit to the students, you know?
Okay. So just to take you back, we had asked a question just before we spoke about the SIP students, about SIPs or ACC. Then you asked me about the semester shutdown. So I want to so I want to unwrap that, and then we can go into the entertainment aspect of students or tertiary students. Before I became part of SRC, or rather being the president of SRC, BAC had not had an event for 6 years prior to that.
It's getting real now. It's getting real, you know. What a perspective. Like, we only get to know about BAC as like the class and the modules and the courses we do and the people we see, but we never really know how things happen, you know what I mean, in the background. So I remember a time last year, May, June. So like we hosted an event, the SRC hosted an event for BAC students, and comes like so I did some research on Facebook and I found that like you were called for a hearing. You were called for a hearing. So I'd like to know what happened, Bota, from your perspective.
All right. Look, I was called for a hearing. I was given a letter of demand, and my whole my future was under threat at the time. But just to take it back, we had an event at the time, the Rebidita semester shutdown. This was last year in May. So we were planning the whole event with the management, going back and forth. This is what we want. This is what the students want. One thing that we told them and made it very clear, look, if we're going to do something, we got to do the best. If we're going to get artists, we got to get the best artist. If we're going to get a venue, we got to get the best venue. You understand? Everything needs to be top tier. You see, and we made it very clear. A fun fact about this thing is that our headlining artist at that Freshers Ball, no one has ever reached it. UB, within my reign, has not hosted a Freshers Ball like that. You understand? Boost, Buan, or any other big institution, they've not hosted a Freshers Ball like that up to now. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because of the challenges that they had or that they have as SRCs. So Rona, we managed to do the what they were most likely not be able to happen. I mean, calling Kabza the Small and like literally interacting with them after paying a guy almost 150,000, and Waito was one of the biggest artists in Sadek. It's a big thing. You see what I'm saying? That was the vibe.
I was there.
So just to unpack what happened in a very short period of time is that that's the standard that we wanted, and BAC couldn't afford it, you know. And you know what governs us as an SRC as the Constitution. So we went back to the Constitution and said, look, our institution cannot afford this. What can we do? We then went and found an investor. Investor came, he popped out 300,000. We had BAC at 200,000. So now we've got $500,000 to work with.
Money.
Yeah. So I'm managing this all this. The investor, BAC, and what the student wants. And then what happened is that along the way, BAC was acting shady. They didn't want the investor. We're like, okay, fine. Can you at least meet the guy and speak to him?
Yeah.
They refused. You understand? We're like, okay, fine. If you don't want the guy involved, then just put up the money that he's willing to offer.
Yes.
Then we can go ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's not for you, it's not for me, it's for the students. My guy, at some point, there was a lady within BAC, finance manager or something like that. Then she went and started looking for other people to carry out the event behind our backs. We told the school about it, it did nothing. And then the day before the event, the entire week we were pushing them, can you please pay the artist, pay this, pay Boro, pay the venue, pay all these things. And guess what they did? They didn't pay. But the investor knows it's the small, the international artist, and he's done like quite he withheld his end of the deal. Now what's happening to us? We are standing here with the school, Ramana school. And you know what happened? The day before the event, I was sitting down with the deputy executive director. He's like, Theo, it's a stalemate. If you're going to go ahead with the event with Labana Ruiraya, Mararona, as we stand, wow, we don't want to be associated with you, we don't want to be a part of you. And now that 200,000, my guy, is gone. So it's between me, the investor, and the students.
Who is this investor exactly?
The investor is a guy from a company called Amahot Entertainment. Yeah. So that was it was a company that was literally sponsoring the event. Yeah, not initially a sponsorship, but it was an investment, meaning where there's going to be profit share and loss share. We had an entire, I think it was like an 11-page contract that I had drafted and sent it to him, even sent it to the legal team at BAC. And you know, when BAC didn't want us to sign the contract, they said we should send it to them so that their legal reps can go through the contract and check for something or whatnot. Up to this day, since last year, the legal reps at BAC have not replied to that contract. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know how I talk about this the investor.
Is there a particular reason though? Like why didn't the school want to meet?
Up to this day, I don't know. You see? Up to this day, I don't know. It's just that I'm too busy to now focus on the past. But if they would want to tell me, I'd be enlightened to know. But anyway, how after that day, the day before, just now it's a stalemate. What I then did, I went out. Mind you, all the artists, all the service providers, everyone is bringing my phone. Everyone, imagine the people that I work with. When it's on posa hore kana hati BAC duele batho even ntse e diragala stage is go iragalang. There's like so much confusion going on, confusion that was started by the institution itself. You understand? From that story I told you about that lady, that's where the whole confusion started. On the day of the event, do you know what they did? They sent a letter to the entire SRC cabinet saying they will not be a part of the event because we didn't agree on the date, we didn't agree on the venue, and we didn't agree on the budget or the investment or whatever in the time. In about the event, they had like a 12 or an event can end at 12 because I want to transport at 12. Those are the peak hours of crime. How on earth do you expect your students to leave the premises at 12? If it was your child, what would you do? It takes us back to that chat. So now, we told them exactly what's going to happen, and we gave them valid reasons. They never gave us one valid reason. You understand? When they didn't want something, we told them, if you don't want something, give us a valid reason, or then you do it yourself. They didn't. So you know what they did? They took their money away. The investment that was supposed to pop out the 200K, they took it away. Then they sent every service provider, because we had given them the database of everyone that was part of the event, obviously because they had to pay those people. They wrote each and every single one of them a letter. On the day of the event, they even went to the extent of going to police station, to tell them they are not a part of this, whatnot. I found this out when I went to police. We've got an event, and so forth. But BAC? Management was just here and what SRC. I explained to them the story. They were like, oh my God, these people must be wicked or something. And police because they could see exactly what was happening. And then after the event, now it's done. We're in so much debt. What we then did is that I went and held an interview, Le Parrot News. I want to explain exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Week after that interview, guess what? BAC sends me a letter. Before that entire week, they were sending my entire cabinet a letter. We were having meetings, and within those meetings, I remember they had published my results to my entire cabinet to see. My academic results, you see?
Yeah.
And at the point, I had one particular module that I was retaking, you see? So my status, I'm most likely to fail. I'm most like, the past 2 SRC presidents have already failed. Now, I was telling them, now if you're going to make me fail the third time, it's going to be clearly or you guys are running some sort of evil cabal.
To something.
Yes, I want to listen. It's like a pattern, you see? So I told them, or if it can't come to me, you understand? Yeah. So now they put it out, or I'm most likely to fail. Like, dude, my results are private. Not even my mother can come here and ask for my results.
Hey, for real.
Now you're giving them to my cabinet so that my cabinet can go against me, so that my cabinet can then come and give me a vote of no confidence. And this tail boy is not a problem to us anymore. That was the whole mission. Within that week, I remember I had to move back from the SRC. Because even my cabinet was being shocked because they were scared.
Yeah, no.
You understand? So I had lost unity within my cabinet because of these guys. And after that, what now happens is that internally, man send this letter of demand from their legal team or legal rep, whatever they've got. I'm like, okay. I remember how I got that letter. It was a Saturday afternoon. I'm chilling with my friends.
Yeah.
Email comes in on a Saturday. It was Saturday or Friday, but I remember it was a weekend. I'm about to go out. I looked at that letter. I'm like, are they serious? Is that what? Yeah, I'm like, first of all, you throw me under the bus with no investment, nothing at all, no backup whatsoever. And then from there, you come now, you write me all these letters, you write my cabinet all these letters. Now, you see that those things are not working, I bring your legal team. My nigga, I'm getting 1.5 every month. These guys are getting a turnover of about 200 million so they can do whatever they want.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm up against. And then that's how I met Duma Boko. Yeah, so I gave him the entire case. I told him what's going on. And whatever letter of demands they sent, we did not meet any of that.
Yeah.
And we waited for them to go and file a case for court.
Did you know him before, though? Like, what made you go to him specifically?
I mean, he's an attorney general.
Okay.
I didn't know him before, but I knew that he's really good in the good space of law. You understand? Having a guy like that in your corner, more especially in a legal battle against a big organization like that.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, he was the right man for the job. You see, I didn't have money, I didn't have anything, and I told him, "Look, this is what I'm going through. Can you help me?" And he was ready to help. We waited for the school to send through the Pambiriza court. They were about fights. When is the first hearing, whatsoever? And up to this day, we never received anything. But you know what they did? No. Then they took the media out of the public eye and made it an internal hearing. So the outcomes of an internal hearing, they can strip your sponsorship away from you and all these things. Exactly. So the hearing came. Remember that lady I told you about at the beginning of the story?
Finance lady.
Yes. On the day she was giving service providers and artists letters, I went to her office. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you going to benefit from all this? It's a question I'm asking her. Why don't you at least call me and sit down and talk to me before you give other people letters? That lady got so pissed. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. She went storming out. Yeah. Then she filed a report. I was harassing her. What? I had locked her in her office. She wrote like 3-4 different reports. all stating different things. Kantelinyana ebe hota hote ba tshintshas go ebe nna gote I was inflicting gore motho a re ene e ka re o batla go mpetsa. You understand? Hey. So I looked at all these guys, so these people are just trying to build a case against me. I spent about 3 days, and 3 days, 3 nights, because I robale my guy. I was sleeping in the office, going through the entire code of conduct, going through the constitution, going through each and every single document that transpired during that event. I had to know all that information from back to back. And I went to the hearing, and I'm proud to say that I was not just guilty. But
Clap sounds,
but what I can say is that even after that, they didn't apologize. All they did is they just paid everyone off. And the sad thing is that some of these the companies that we had hired were subcontracting. So after they get a payment, they have to pay someone else. So BAC the main people that did the job after the subcontract, but they are not paid because it's all secret payments going on. And, even people that were not supposed to be paid, they are paid. You see, it's because
that's real hectic.
So we went through with that, and in the midst of that, there was a trip. I was supposed to go to Korea, a leadership training, whatever. I remember they came to me, no, Theo, you're not going to that trip. You're going to take someone else. Oof. I'm like, okay.
It was an SRC thing.
Yeah. But the Francistown SRC president is going to go for the trip, and I'm going to stay behind. I don't deserve to go, blah, 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 blah. I remember I sat down with the executive director. I'm like, look, I did not do anything wrong. I stand by my word. No matter what you do, no matter where you take me, I'm telling you the truth. I've not done anything wrong. The people that are wrong are the people that work for you within this organization. And you know what's happening now? The people are living happily ever after. Imagine a lady is accusing you of doing so many things. You understand?
Can't tell you work with them after.
Yeah. And I still have to be at school. Now people are saying my academic standing is on the line. And all this thing is causing a huge mental toll on me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm having all these breakdowns. I can't even go to the BAC therapist because now, like, how can I talk to you if you are the one trying to go against me? So it was a huge toll in my life as a human being. And I went through it was a big challenge, And the sad thing now is that for them, life is just moving on as if everything was normal. When my life went around 360. You understand? I mean, imagine I've got a girlfriend and she's seeing all this. I'm losing everything. She's wondering, what is this guy even going to finish school? Imagine we're having an argument and then she's wondering, what a dog, are you even innocent? You understand what I'm saying? Because people will have different opinions to such matters. So it affected me highly, and now we're here. It's just that luckily we go to church, I've got a mother that prays, prays for me.
For sure.
And I've been able to survive through all this thing, So that was what the semester shut down.
Sheesh. Adversity really brings character.
So look at it this way. BAC had not had an event for the past 6 years. So I can even say, if it was someone else, they could have cancelled everything.
Already, yeah.
You understand? Because they would see the big threat that they're going up against. So I went against that threat and I managed to win against it. And my only prayer is that the next coming SRC can continue the change or revolutionary movement that we have started.
Yeah, we need that. No cap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, how was the support from the students though during the whole time you were facing all of this?
They did support me. The boardroom was full at my hearing. Full of students, and they supported me entirely. Like, I tell them everything that was going on. I was very transparent about the matter. I don't want anything hidden. If at all I'm wrong, come and witness it and hear it publicly. And if at all I'm right, come and hear it and witness it publicly. So that's been my chat the whole way. Or let's have transparency and honesty.
No, that's really dope.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what you've gone through all of this, ne? But still, this is like just when you were getting into office.
Yeah.
So how does one keep going with all the stuff? Like I've seen, you guys have put your pool tables right in main camp, and a field is like blooming as well. Right, it's close by the new camp as well. So how did you manage to get all these things done regardless?
Okay, you remember I told you at the beginning of this podcast that I'd spoken about this about 6-7 months ago, and now it's a reality.
Yes, sir.
And it was never planned. We had a conversation on the last debate. So let's do a podcast. I'm like, all right, chap, let's do a podcast.
Chat.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It's all God at the end of the day, you know,
facts.
and connecting you to the right people at the right time, you know.
Yes,
So what I can say is that I'm a very professional person, you know, even if I don't like you and I have to work with you, our aim is to get the job done.
For sure.
And that's what I've always said to these guys, you know, I don't have to be friends with you. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. Let's just get the job done.
It's all about the work. Yeah.
So for 25 years, BAC has not had a football field or any mabala hell. I'm coming from a school where we had 9 rugby fields. We had a hockey field and a proper grandstand. We had 2 halls. It's a assembly. We had an amphitheater. We had drums. We had a swimming pool. We had everything. You understand?
Yeah.
And I was paying almost the same amount of school fees that DTF is paying for me at BAC. No, in high school. You understand? That's the kind of high school that I'm coming from. Then I come here, rolling. You understand what I'm saying? Look, and I'm not going to come here and say I'm saying all these things because I come from some sort of privileged background. You understand? Look, BAC is generating more money than the school that I'm coming from. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You understand? This is tertiary. Why can't you just give us the right quality?
Yeah.
Why don't you just give us the right value for our money? How do you have a school with 4,000 students and you don't have a swimming pool? Shouldn't you be embarrassed? You understand? With no field with grass.
How embarrassing, you know? Yeah.
Dog, embarrassing. You understand?
Yeah.
So those are things that I was speaking about. And any normal human being will understand what I'm talking about. You can't be this big. This is like the biggest tertiary institution after UB.
Facts, yeah.
In Botswana.
Maybe are coming for you.
Yeah, Harry Boga the Harvard, like the Harvard. What?
You feel me?
So we have to change. We have to change, and that's why I came here. You know, so that we can change some of these things.
Yeah.
So part of the change was the sports thing I spoke about. And within our term, there's a field.
For sure.
I mean, it's evidently clear what's going on. Within our term, there's pool tables. We're doing anything we can do in our power to empower students. You know, they take them away from drug and alcohol abuse. Not that alcohol is a bad thing, but you know, from just an idle mind is a singer, an idle mind is a dangerous mind. You know, from them idling too much. So that's what we're trying to do. But the sad thing is that we don't have much time. But what's good is that foundation. That's going to be the strongest part of your structure going up.
Yeah. That is quite powerful. Can you just say that again?
Yeah?
Say that again.
No, hurry. I think what we have done is that we've built a foundation for the coming SRC. All they need to do is come and make the house look nice. Build the house, but make it nice.
No, for real.
Because even for the SRC, what they submit the budget for the coming SRC, we submitted a budget of 600,000. Mind you, from our term, let me say the total money we've spent is maybe 300,000. Yes, from BAC on like student body freshers bolo, the cafe that we're building, and so forth. No, I'm saying for the coming council. So now I get basically what we're doing. We've got RSL, Revolutionary Student Leadership.
Yeah.
So basically I've got a thing going on whereby before kana in the politika ya bana ba sekolo wata bote ke tsaya ditsala tsa mehela e be re tla rana cabinet. So you know what I'm saying, what we want now is that let them come for debate, then we see who's the better candidate so that we can come up with an 11-man squad dream team. You see, that's gonna finish this vision of a complete structure at BAC. So I think people should not get it wrong in the sense that we hate BAC. No, we love BAC dearly. You understand? I would do anything for BAC, and I've done so many things for them unconditionally.
Yeah.
You see, so people should never interpret the fact that BAC is like this bad institution. No. We are a very good institution. You see, we just got a few rotten potatoes that you need to pick out and get rid of. Everything has touch, then we move. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that is quite a lot of information that we're getting. We're getting a peek behind the covers, as you might say. So, and we've spoken on a lot of stuff there. So I'd like to know. I'm quite interested to know actually. What would you say is your most proudest achievement as SRC president?
I think out of everything that we have done, one of my proudest achievement would be the 13 SIP students that got re-enrolled. So I think that would be one of the proudest moments that I've had in my life. No, changing someone's life when it was going to one of the worst moments ever. Is something that you'd also like really feel proud of. So if you can see yourself putting a smile on someone's face, you should be happy too.
Yeah, I smiled while I was smiling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's quite great. So if you could go back in time though, what would you say is something that you would do differently or change?
If I could go back in time and if I could change anything, within SRC, what could I have changed? I think I would have tried by all means to make sure that my cabinet stays intact at all times, and like the likes of a good friend of mine, Prince Chopiro, also a comedian. I think I could have tried a bit harder to not just let him go like that. Because I remember when he resigned, we spoke about it. I'm like, boys, nah, don't go. What? He's like, hey, dog, the management it's heavy. And I'm telling him, nah, we'll fight it together. Just stick around. He's like, look, man, I come from, then he's telling me his background, where I come from, like, this is what I come from, this is what I'm trying to do. There's a lot at stake here. But if you're going to go for it, I'll support you 100%. And you know, we are very close, and we fought the whole thing together. And I'm proud of what he had done for the students, even though, I mean, the whole freshers ball thing, or, you know, the semester shutdown, you know, he came up with that idea. Yeah. So if I would have if he could have stayed, I think we could have been in a better place. Yeah.
That's amazing. I hope you're good wherever you are.
Hopefully, I just pray that he watches to this point where we actually speak about him.
Yeah, let's watch till the end, guys. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just closing. So, what are your plans? So I heard recently, just the Friday before last, most of your cabinet like left office.
Yeah.
And what's it say? Just the executive team. So when are you leaving exactly?
All right. When am I leaving? I think this year is a very big year for me. I'm getting out of student politics. I'm finishing school. I'm getting out of hostel. So I'm becoming more of a man now, you know. So I'm still thinking about it, you know. I don't know if I should continue with politics, but I've seen that it's a very dirty game. Maybe I might work somewhere, but how much am I gonna get paid? You know. But I want rest, you know. I want to be comfortable. I want to, you know, It's okay during the weekend and have not my phone not being blown up. You know, I can't even reply to Facebook messages anymore because like there's so many people there with so many problems to address. You know, my WhatsApp is always buzzing, my phone is always ringing. You know, I think even when I'm on a date and my phone rings, my girlfriend would look at me and say, "Not again, not again." You understand? And you're in your room, people keep knocking, and it's just because when you serve people, you have to live amongst people. You understand? And sometimes, I mean, you can't love everyone, you know. But at the same time, everyone expects you to care for them, or more especially students. So from here, I think I just want to relax, you know, and focus on something different. I want to take a break hella from politics, but even though I'm very passionate about politics, but if I'd sit down and say, what I want to live like this for the rest of my life, nah. But would I like to change people's lives for the rest of my life? Yes, but I need a break, you know.
What a vacation.
Vacation never mad. You see? So if I can get a good job somewhere, then hopefully I'll be ready for that. Even if if I can go to South Africa and I get a good job, maybe go in the bush. I don't know if my girlfriend will be able to stay there, man.
She's even dressed for it. Colors are coloring.
You know, so that's what I would like to move away from GABS for a little while and away from tertiary and from politics just for a little while. But if that's not possible, I'm 100% ready to continue.
Let's do it. I'd love to see you continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we need more people like you. Lead the way, Chief. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so just something that I've been saying while closing for the past few questions, but this is the last question, maybe you could just share something people don't know about you, just a fun fact people don't know about you.
A fun fact. Okay, so you know some people look at me and they think I'm like this serious guy. You know, some students were like, "Hey, say," I'm like, "Dog, it's not that deep." You know, I'm a kind of guy. I party hard and I play hard. You understand? Everything I do, I want to win. You know, and even when I party, I want to drink, and I want to party hard. You know, and a fun fact now. Something I got TikTok on my phone now, so I've been learning a few dance moves. So that's a fun fact. So every time I learn another new one, I tell my girlfriend, "Hey, I learned this other dance move. I'm gonna show you soon." She's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "Wait, I'll show you." So I think that's I'm on TikTok, but I don't post anything. I only have one person that I follow. I only send messages to one person. It's crazy, but I see all this context, and it's pretty amazing, man. So yeah, I think that's now bringing the students, the young me, you know. But yeah, that's a fun fact. So let's go and beat us say.
That was quite a fun fact, though, that I would have never guessed. It's good to know. It's good to know. Okay, so, sheesh. Yeah.
But in closing, also from my end, I think I'd like to see the whole thing grow. I mean, we started with phones, and this guy is coming with his equipment. You know, I'm not sure if you are paying for it or what
corporation is this exactly?
It's the undercover. Yeah, but I'm proud to say he told me that he's also a BAC student. He's been overseas, so I think there's like more people like him. There was a kid, one of my friends, he's also coming from China. He's also in BAC. So I think there's just so much we can offer as students, and we can even help the institution itself do better. Because I think a platform like this can help market so many products. It can help release information. Communicate to the students. They can use such a platform. And I've met you. I think I've known you for the past a year or two. And every time I see you, you've got something going on. The first time I saw you, you had a book club. Second time I see you, it's investments club. Now I see you for the third time, you've got the podcast you're doing.
Podcast don't know, but like he brought up the like idea, and I was like, yeah, actually.
But you made it happen. You understand? You got the whole setup together. You understand? So, Lo and I think there's a lot that you can offer. So just give it time. The other day I saw you and I was like, why don't you go into SRC? You don't need to go for a big position, even for information and publicity. And do initiatives like this to help the institution become a better place, and this will also be fun for the students, because we have got a lot of different types of students within BAC. I mentioned a guy I was very close. I'm still very close to him, Prince Chopiro. He's an entertainer. Freddie Pro, the guy, he's gay. He's gay and he's got he's in the entertainment space. He was also at BAC. So I think there's a lot that these people can say.
Well,
I don't know if Slashy goes here, but I think Bexon. I remember Bexon was supposed to perform at our Shabata. He's still or something like that. And there's a lot of young guys that are also doing well. School, they are managers. There's a guy I met called Graduation. He's got his own tech company. He's doing so well. He's got a company in the UK. He's moved between UK and Botswana. So and BAC, I guarantee they know about all this. It's just that we need to bring it out there. So yeah.
Yo, that's quite a perspective. That is quite a perspective. Let me not shy, since you brought it up, like I won't even shy away from it. Like I did just last week start campaigning for SRC President. So I know now good thing is I already made some promises, you know what I mean? So we gotta see it through, you know what I mean? But this was an interesting perspective about like information and stuff. About like what more students could do, which is something that for sure I'll make sure like we try best to see it through. Yeah, but like otherwise, in closing, I'd just like to thank you for your time. You know what I mean? I know it's a weekend, you could be chilling right now, you know what I mean, doing whatever you do during these times with baby girl over there.
Hey, you know, I'm always late to it. She calls me for appointments, but with these guys, I tell them, I say 4 o'clock straight on the dot. Because from there I have to go. So, but thank you so much, man, and wishing you all the best.
I know he wants to be undercover, but thank you so much for Mr. Thomas Itibe. He's the one who provided all of the equipment, these proper mics. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking to get into podcasting and stuff, make sure you get in touch. You could hit me up, hit Mr. Theo up, and then we'll make sure to connect you with the brilliant mind behind these. So yeah, we're just hoping that, like you said, there could be more of this. So yeah, let's do what we can and make sure we make BAC the school of our dreams. Thank you so much for watching.
This video is sponsored by